There's a special guest on our show today. Personal privilege of mine. I grew up in Brooklyn Park, north of Minneapolis, and when I was a kid, I earned some spare change picking potatoes, picking radishes, and picking sweet corn, hoeing sweet corn as well. And my experience over several summers convinced me that I never wanted to do that ever again in my life. And these two people here, Janeen and Justin Wolfsteller, had exactly the opposite experience. They grew up not that far away. Justin grew up in Elk River, and they decided that they wanted to have a family. They wanted to have a family farm, the kind where you have chickens and you have sheep and you have sweet corn and you have pumpkins and sweet corn and you have peppers and sweet corn and potatoes and cabbages and all the rest. You went an entirely different direction. When did you fall in love? Fall in love with vegetables, you
with
two.
vegetables.
I can't wait to hear.
With growing them or eating them?
Both.
Still
One
working
leads
on
to the
falling in
other.
love with growing them.
Yeah.
With eating them when I was a baby, of course.
Of course. You fell in love with this. You worked when you were living in town in Elk River, and you worked on farms, right?
Yes, sir. When I was 12 years old, I went out to my aunt and uncle's family farm, and they have a vegetable farm out in Becker.
There you are. Yours is 15 acres, so it's not as big as they have out in western North Dakota, 13,000. But you probably raise more pumpkins and sweet corn than they do out there. How was the sweet corn this year?
It was fabulous this year.
That's saying a lot.
It was one of the best years we've had for
Really?
corn years. Yeah.
Really? What variety do you favor? Everything.
Everything.
All of them.
They all go by numbers now. They don't have the old traditional sweet corn. I mean,
No.
you could still get some of that, but
Really?
the newer varieties all go by numbers.
The romance of sweet corn is gone.
Right.
Number 324.
We're losing
Exactly.
it.
It's like from the hymnal or something.
Right.
All right. But you sold 1,000 dozen
Almost,
sweet corn off of a farm stand on Highway 169 just south of Princeton, just about 50 miles north of here.
Yes.
Wow.
It's our second year in business.
Meanwhile, raising 3 children. Children all like living on a farm?
They seem to, sometimes more than others.
Yes, of course. Do you have one selected as the heir to this estate?
We always tell them that it's whichever one of them decides they want to buy it first, because they don't get anything handed to them.
I see.
So our son walked into our room a couple weeks ago and threw a wad of cash on the bed at me and said, "Mom, you know how you always say whoever buys it first gets it?" And I said, "Yeah. Well, I'm starting a contract for deed."
All right.
He's 8.
Wow. He's moving fast.
Yes.
Moving fast. So what's your advice to the rest of us who are thinking of going into the lucrative vegetable business?
Well, it's a lot of work. You're going to have to work full-time at a regular 9-to-5 job, and you're also going to have to work full-time at home.
You work for the railroad? You're a locomotive engineer, electrician?
Yes, sir. Locomotive electrician.
Did you want to be an engineer, or?
When I was a little kid, I think every little boy wants to be an engineer at one point or another.
But it's hard to combine being an engineer with raising vegetables. It just,
Yeah.
the two just don't seem to go together. Your dad works and lives on the farm?
Yep, he's retired, and he and my mom both.
Well, he's not
live with
completely
us.
retired, is he?
Well, he's his version of retired, I guess.
I see.
And so, yeah, when we are at work doing our jobs during the day, he will be running the stand.
Mm-hmm. And you raise sheep. What saints you must be to work with sheep.
They're better than goats.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Really? You've had experience with goats?
Yes, we have.
Yes.
You have. Okay, I won't ask you anymore. Did you ever find yourself becoming angry at a goat? And
Yes, when they
using
wrecked the
language?
new some of the language,
Some
not
of the
appropriate for the
language.
radio.
Okay, all right. I had a friend who tried to raise goats, and he was a PhD in geology, and he spent weeks and weeks trying to drive goats by throwing small clods of dirt at them to get them to go in the other direction. It took him a long time, this PhD, to figure out that you grab hold of a goat, of a sheep, and you tow it along and the others follow.
Yes.
They can be led, they cannot be driven.
Correct.
Correct.
You know that already?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So what's up for next year on the Wild Wind farm?
More sweet corn.
Yeah, we're going to expand on sweet corn a little bit and definitely plant more pumpkins and fall vegetables, the squash, and more tomatoes.
And the sweet corn does better than the zucchini, I would think, no?
I think everybody in Minnesota tries to give zucchini away.
Yes, right. Yes. There is, so you've had that same experience too.
Yes, yes.
You go to church and in the cloakroom there are shopping bags full of
Exactly.
And it's ours. That's there.
zucchini, yes. But sweet corn. Sweet corn is better than sex.
I'm not sure how.
I've heard that. I don't know. I guess it depends on who's talking. Now, we used to go out and we used to have the water boiling, and then we'd go out into the garden and pick the sweet corn and husk it on the way back to the house.
Yep.
So that when we ate it, it was about 7 or 8 minutes removed from the stalk.
I think it's the best that way.
It
Now,
is.
Janeen can't husk corn.
No.
No?
I'm allergic to his lifestyle.
Really?
Yep, I break out in rashes, so.
From the
silk.
silk?
Yep.
Oh, really? But you can eat sweet corn?
Yes, I can.
You can. All right. But it
But
needs
I
to
can
be...
delegate the husking.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, now the sweet corn is all gone, isn't it? Now we've raised this hunger for sweet corn.
Yes, last weekend was our last weekend
So it's
of
a
corn.
hunger that cannot be satisfied.
Unless you bought some and froze it, in which case you're good
does
to go.
freeze?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Good luck to both of you. You're living the life that I did not want to live. And now I'm starting to question it. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Garrison.
Thank you, Janeen, the Wolfstellers from Princeton.